welcome. We are the ministry of the real truth, who strive to bring all the real truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in regards to the biblical scriptures. We don't delve in hype, fluff, or other candy-coated nonsense. We have a policy we set in place before we created this YouTube channel and it took off. A church or business policy that honesty is our best policy. So why would we lie? We then need to create another lie in order to cover that lie, if exposed as incorrect or lying, deliberately through our teeth. And then we have to create another lie to cover that lie, and it would continue. And eventually, when we're fully exposed and we can't worm our way out of it, we'd probably be ruined spiritually, church-wise, truth-wise, and so forth. We will no longer be regarded as bringing that truth as we profess. We would incur for ourselves the rightful title of liar. So of late, being commented via our YouTube channel, receiving comments which are, we believe, falsities, assumptions, lies, made up stuff about us and our channel, and even racists, bigots, etc., because of certain videos that we did a review on certain books exposing these religious factions that say this or say that. We are not racist, we are not fascist, nothing like that. That's all made up assumptions to try to put us under somebody's boot heel, to stomp us down. Others have said, we're worried about something small or trivial, about what Jesus actually looked like in his day. But this, we feel, is important because there are factions out there that say Jesus was black, God was black, Moses was black, Mary was black, everybody in the Bible was black, even the writers of it were black, and the publishers were black. And then you have the complete opposite where, no, Jesus wasn't black, he was white, he was European, he was Aryan, etc., etc. You are the beasts of the field, well, you mixed breeds, and so forth. We are not on either team. So please don't come at us and say we are, and that we're racist, colour selective and all that sort of stuff. It's total trash. We, the Ministry of the Real Truth, look into exposing the many organised religious claims, these small groups, these cults, etc., that Jesus was solely a white European, or he and everyone else in the Bible, from God to Moses down to Jesus himself, were black, originally from Africa, or European white, a non-Jew, non-black, not a mixed race, of a mixed race, or affected by impure race mixing, etc. We are simply bringing to all what many are saying, professing to the world as the truth, the gospel truth, the gospel according to, etc., etc., by looking at, listening to videos, video debates, lectures, readings of old and new books in our modern times and past centuries, Bible manuscripts, Bible translations from over the past centuries, as you already mentioned, and examining the three major organised religions, them being Judaism, Christianity and Islam, and their claims of fact, verifying them as actual established facts, and their claims of having proof or evidence of this and of that, having a certain history which proves that all to be true, writings of their adored, much worshipped followed religious founder, be he an angel, a prophet, a guru, a rabbi, imam, or alien from outer space, planet XAFZ. We look into these various claims, etc., to verify that they are 100% true or 100% complete horse poo. We also do indulge and rather undertake interrogative journalism to dig deep behind the scenes into a current religious leader's life history, background history, and if there's a chuckload of poop there to be found, we expose them. We reveal it to you, to all, what we've found about them, because we don't want people to be tricked anymore, duped, suckered, fleeced for their money. Isn't that what the three organised religions, the leaders, top scholars, theologians do as part of a propagandic hustle to undermine the competition, their opposition, in order to be the number one at the very top of the religious ladder, and not do all they can using any means necessary or available to stay there? They may also have a secret hidden motive and agenda, a method of propaganda, which we'll find and then we'll reveal to all, because it's only fair that these people don't fool you, don't suck you, don't dupe you and take all your money. Tell you, oh, this is the truth, this is what the gospel says, this is the gospel of truth, when theirs is obviously twisted, corrupted, etc. We, as stated earlier, have in place and in use a policy. Honesty is our best policy, so why bother deliberately lying or willfully lying, knowing that if you're lying you may be found out one day and ruined as a karmic consequence. You reap what you sow, right? We stress that from time to time we make mistakes, as sometimes the information we come across or recall from memory is relayed to us as incorrect. We figure it out, we get told by somebody else, oh no, that's actually incorrect. So we ask the person who brought this to our attention, who kindly and nicely put it to our attention, to give us a source to the links, or links to the source, so that we can look at it, see if their claim is actually true. And if so, we correct our mistake, then we thank them, because they deserve to be thanked, right? To be acknowledged for bringing it to our attention. They deserve the due credit, right? If we make a typo, a mistake ourselves in our video, when we create it or we upload it, in our description box, etc., and then we realise it, we correct it. We see a mistake, so we try to correct it. It might be editing, it might be a description. In the description box it could be something else, right? We strive, once we realise that we've done it, to correct it. Yeah, sometimes we might, as many comment and say, oh, you talk too slow, you should speed it up, or you talk too fast, or there's too much noise in the background, the alarm's going beep, 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 and all this sort of stuff. Well, sometimes those things can't be helped. Poop happens, right? Crap happens. Okay, things suddenly blow up, go haywire, your webcam, your computer, etc. is just one of those things. So we kindly say to them, well, we couldn't help that, we couldn't fix it because the beeping alarm in our older videos, 2022, because if we touched it, we get done for fiddling with it, right? So we had to wait, and then they came and fixed it after a month. Or there's a lot of noise outside, we can't help that because it's now a busy street which leads to a highway, and you've got hoons on motorbikes revving them up and down, no helmets, no license, people in cars thinking that they're in GTA 5, going up and down, helicopters, police, traffic, helicopters going up and down, around, at odd hours, so of late, so it can be a pain in the butt. Yeah, we'd like to remind all those coming at us real hard, possibly trying to undermine us, stomp us down in regard to their, to promote their own religious affiliation, ideology, belief system, denomination, etc., etc. That William Shakespeare, the old bard, he once said, and we quote, "To err is human, but forgiveness is divine." We as humans make mistakes from time to time, don't you? Or are you Mr. or Mr. Perfect? Mr. or Mrs. Perfect? Without any flaws? Really? You are? Wow, there's a flaw. You just lied. Show us Mr. or Mr. Perfect and we'll verify for you a liar, a schemer. We believe and strive to live by the old English gentleman's code. A man's word is his word, and he should keep his word. He should honour it, to be honourable, to be honoured. If he makes a promise, he should keep it, honour it, in order to be approved by God and men, etc., and not for monetary gain, to boost his ego or other. Get all puffed up and big-headed. People respect an honest person who keeps his or her word, their promises, etc. Somebody you can rely on to tell you something straight out or honestly. Now, who does that today? So all who came at us, you're not going to expect this. So all who came at us, here's a shout out. Cheers. Thanks. Because your comments, your trolly like your Christian butthurt assumptions, false imaginings, not understanding words, things that are said throughout our videos, etc., are much appreciated. Wow, you didn't expect that, did you? Because the more comments, the more views, the more subscribers we get. So thanks, truly, thanks. Trolls, angry Andersons, angry birds, nonsensical, non-English commenters. God bless you all. God bless America. We like to debate, we like to argue with people sometimes to a point. But then, enough's enough. We'll block you, hide you from our channel, because Scripture suggests don't get caught up in arguments, etc. So we stress our point of what we came across through our video. We're exposing it, etc., or revealing the truth, and the rest is up to you. How you react to it and retort to it does concern us, but that's over to you at the end of the day. Perhaps you don't have a certain word defined in the sentence, therefore have a misunderstood, which makes one take a whole sentence out of context. And if you think you're still tough, and you live in our community, our town, our city, our country, pay us a visit. Come and knock on our door. And we'll take a ride. If you still insist we are lying, we'll take a ride. You take a ride with us, and we'll go to a certain business or company and use their lie detector. Okay, the police one you can fool if you know how, but you've got to know how, right? This one you cannot beat, as the team trained to operate it are highly trained, and they're not easily fooled or tricked or duped. They're too highly trained on it, so you can't fool it, you can't fool them. We know this because we tried by lying when asked a small question. It amazingly revealed that we were lying. It got us, so we admitted, yeah, we'd broken a set policy of that particular company, etc., by not eating breakfast before going to the facility to learn some important social life skills or do some extra mental training or whatever. So this video is all about us, the Ministry of the Real Truth, who have created a YT channel, YouTube channel, which strives long and hard to bring all the real truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in regard to the biblical manuscript scriptures, from the original ancient, very old manuscripts dated at 800 BCE to 900 BCE, the Tav Asheret, or Aramaic, in the language of God, that God spoke to Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, and the men at the Tower of Babel also spoke one to each other. The sacred scribal language Lishana Atika Saprea, translated into the nearest English equivalent by the native-born Aramaic-speaking translator Victor Alexander, who has at least 15 to 20 years' experience translating those Old Testament manuscripts from the Tav Esrit, Lishana Atika Saprea, and also the Galilean Aramaic, the original ancient very old Galilean Aramaic, not a vernacular, modern vernacular, or a modern version, but the long dead, perhaps not spoken today language. And he's found a way through the original Old Testament and New Testament manuscripts to translate that long dead language. He was given it by a high priest of the Church of the Apostolic Church of the East, because he said to him, well, what you're translating from might be the Umia Syriac Peshitta or Peshitta from 1889 is wrong. We don't use that. We're not too sure if it is the Western Peshitta that he translated from, and it gave him a year's depression. Right, he got over it, and then he completed the New Testament. He was working on it, and he started working on the Old Testament, which he hasn't quite finished because he's an older gentleman with some health problems, etc., etc. So pray for that man, because he's a great guy. We communicated with him since 2017 or 18 through our email address, and he's quite humorous. He's a lovely man. So yeah, pray for him, pray for his health to be picked up, etc., etc. We consider him our mentor, even though we haven't told him. We just consider him like that because he has helped us to get out of the confusion of the modern Americanized English Bible versions. Got no confusions there. We found that the original Aramaic that is translated into the English has really cleared that up. So that's our whole mission. Okay? We're not here to pull the fluff over your eyes or the woolly hat down over your eyes, baffle you with brilliance, try to get all your money off you, etc., etc. We're just here to present you the original ancient very old Tav Esrit manuscripts, Lishana Atika Saprea, all translated in English, as well as the Galilean Aramaic New Testament, hidden and preserved for over 2,000 years by these high priests of the original Church of the East, Apostolic Church of the East, which was destroyed in the 13th century, but restored at some later date, and now it's the restored modern Apostolic Assyrian Orthodox Catholic Church of the East, possibly in Uri or some other geographical location. So if you really like this video, if you really love this video because it's so truthful, then subscribe to us, give us a like, add your comments, subscribe to us, give us a like, add your comments. We'll have a look at those and get back to you on those as soon as possible, and then go share this video with all your family, friends and others. But first, here is our YouTube channel page, the Ministry of the Real Truth. So we created this banner, and we're asking, if I told you, or if we told you that you have been told nothing but lies, could you handle the real truth? Could you? And you can answer that question. The Ministry of the Real Truth, that's obviously us. We have a mission statement. Okay. This was suggested by somebody, and wow, we really like it. Like that idea. Thank you very much for that person out there that did that. You know who you are, or who suggested that. Our mission statement: we are the Ministry of the Real Truth, the best ever YouTube channel for factual and irrefutable information on the real truth about Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. We continuously strive to bring all the whole truth, the real truth, and nothing but the truth in regard to the biblical scriptures, via the original ancient very old Aramaic manuscripts of the original ancient very old sacred scribal language of God, the Lishana Atika Saprea, from the original ancient very old Aramaic or Tav Esrit. The translator Victor Alexander refers to it as Aramaic, which he spoke to Adam. God spoke to Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. These are the originals translated into the nearest English equivalent. It's the Old Testament Tav Esrit and the Galilean Aramaic NT manuscripts. These are the original translated into the nearest English equivalent by the native-born Aramaic-speaking translator, filmmaker San Francisco Film graduate, Academy graduate, etc. From Mesopotamia, Syria, or Bet Naran, Syria, Victor Nimrod Alexander, and he's a descendant of the biblical Nimrod apparently. We have a policy. We set this policy in place because we knew we were going to get attacked. We just knew it, right? Not so much Islamis or Muslims, okay? Not so much Jews, mainly the modern Christians, right? Okay, we get attacked verbally, etc., out there on the street by them and online, right, through the social chat platforms for our channel, etc. But yeah, it's all good. Okay, so we also believe in old time. Okay, so we have a policy. Honesty is our best policy, so we strive to stand by that. We also believe in old time chivalry, where a man's word is his honour, so he should be honourable and honour it. Be honest, stop lying. People will go, wow, that's an honourable man. You can trust what he's saying. You might not get it right every time, but at least you can rely on him to give it to you straight out. No fluff, no hype. Give you how it is. Okay, be very honest. Okay. And here is our videos. Done quite a few of them. We don't get a lot of hits, but the whole thing is not so much to hurry up and get money, through AdSense partnership program, whatever. But it's just basically what we come across, and we present it to you. Yeah, all the different biblical versions, Bible versions, translations, interpolations, whatever. Yeah? Syriac Western Bushido, that's our latest one. Syriac Bushido. These are like really, really old manuscripts claimed as the originals, right, and translated by certain people, be they Messianic Jew or just a Mesopotamian or somebody else like that, right? But Uman, okay, he verifies Jesus actually existed, and so forth. We expose the Hebrew Israelites and their claims that Jesus was black. All this sort of stuff. We're not pushing that he was black. Okay, some people say, this sort of stuff. No, incorrect there, right? Okay, what Jesus might have looked like. So there are many pictures here. So they're telling you, Jesus had ginger hair. Jesus had this kind of hair. Had afro. He might have been a skinhead. There's actually a woman. All this sort of rubbish, right? Why so many pictures done by artists over the, what do you call that thing? Renaissance, something like that. The Middle Ages, right? They were depicting, this is what he looked like. We think he might look like this, right? Whereas the scriptures don't tell you exactly what he looked like. But science has done the research, or done this new technique, right? And they've used the Shroud of Turin and come up with, this is what Jesus looks like. Well, they come up with something else. This is what he looks like. He looks like a Neanderthal man. Well, this one he looks like a toothless, homeless person, right? Got some rotten teeth and all that sort of stuff. All these different methods they're using to prove that Jesus was this, or Jesus was that, right? This is what he looked like. Okay? Here's the scientific generated one. Looks like a caveman, a Neanderthal man. Looks like probably closest to what they look like these days. Egyptians look very, very different there. Okay. The Anunnaki aliens weren't Africans, and somebody reveals some secrets. Secret society family and all this sort of crap, right? And there's heaps more there. The Grand Bible, the Torah. We actually are going to do a video on that because we found one of the pictures in it stated that it was a photograph of Egypt in the trade route between Egypt and India, through along the Suez Canal and the Nile, etc. And we saw a picture of the flat Earth. Okay, if that's off a spaceship and it's got no curve, it looks like a record. What the? But we're still going to look into it because we've been programmed, brainwashed, or whatever, to accept through the education system, the religion, or whatever, that it's a globe, it's a sphere, it's an orb, it's round, all this sort of stuff, right? We remember watching a video on a guy who supposedly created this spaceship or rocket and put all these cameras on it, and he got it up so far and it came down, crashing down. but he's looking for funding, etc., but nobody will give it, because once he gets it up there and he shows the view from there to the earth, you might be surprised that it actually is flat. Okay, probably has a little bit of a curve. The dome that goes over the top looks like it's curved. Okay, if you look at it close enough, it looks like there's a curve there. But yeah, the rest of the planet is flat. Yeah, but because we've got, as you said, because we've got brainwashed all that sort of stuff, we've got to do some research and be honest about it and say, hey man, this is what we found. Okay, the commandments existed before Moses, the 10 commandments. He probably, being in the court of the Egyptians as a young guy, learnt all their culture, their religion, language, all that sort of stuff. So it's embedded in his mind. So he liberates the Hebrew, the Israelites, but he's still got that in the back of his mind. So he takes bits and pieces. God's commanding him, make it smaller. Instead of 42 laws of Ma'at or whatever, shrink it down to 10. But apparently it was similar to the original ancient king, what's his name, Sarupapak. Yeah, very, very similar laws like that. Probably had a similarity to Hammurabi's laws as well. Here's the origins of the continents when they were one great big landmass, and Africa, Israel was part of Africa, etc. Okay. According to the tourist explanations on the boards there, this Pan-African guy, whatever he is, he explains it and he says, look, even these Israelis are saying it in the Hebrew, right? That this is what happened. So how can you deny it, that Africa was once part of Israel? Or sorry, Israel was once part of Africa. Yeah. How can you deny that? They were saying it themselves, right? But they're denying it, but they put it on the board, saying, yeah, there was one giant landmass before we had the Middle East, the Suez Canal, etc., creating that divide. Okay. So we also have the Gospel according to non-Jews and pagans, Gospel according to Darwin. Okay, some fake claims, right? All about the original, ancient, very old Apostolic Church of the East, the patriarchs. Okay, who the Assyrians really were, because Hebrew Israelites, etc., are trying to say that they're black. Okay, you look at the wall reliefs, you find they've got a dark hue, but they still look like a white man, right? Like this sort of thing. Okay, and then they say, oh well, they got the plaited hair or the plaited hair, what's that thing they say, kinky hair, nappy hair, etc., etc. Look at their beards, that's African. Yeah, okay, it's just their assumption. Here is the Pseudo epic, yeah. And various videos on telling the truth, find the truth. We did have a Bible like this. This is a New International Version study Bible, and it disappeared. It belonged to a very popular evangelist here. What's his name? Bill Sabritsky. We found it one day on the side of the road next to this car. Maybe the car had been broken into or whatever, and driven off, and his son's photo wasn't, and all that sort of stuff. Somebody pinched it. Don't know why they pinched it, or they lost it or something like that. Yeah. We look at, is God real? Did Jesus actually exist? Okay. And many more. Okay. We also have playlists you might find really interesting. Okay. This is our intro video. We did to spice up our videos. When was that year? 2020. And here's some of our playlist videos here. This one, it's very important that you look at that. Dynetics are missing important note, because if you're studying something, you may have a sentence, let's say for example, down here, okay, setting an example, and then there's some word in here that you don't understand, and you haven't got a definition for. It could be fluff, okay, or hype. Yeah, let's say hype, right? And then you're reading the sentence and you don't get it, so you take it out of context because you've according to this book, you've got a misunderstood. It's something you haven't got defined, so you have to go use this method to define that word in that sentence, do a bit of a role play with toys or whatever, right? Your kids' toys, and then find the definition through a dictionary with has to have 3 different definitions, right? Clear it up, basically. Okay, many people go, oh, that's Scientology, that's Dianetics, oh, that's Satan, all that sort of stuff. Not everything is Satan, right? Okay, yeah, sure, L. Ron Hubbard was weird, tax evader, whatever he was, but that's him in his personal life. He may have had something there that actually worked. How do you know? Did it work? Have you ever been in Scientology? Okay, we were into that years and years and years and years ago, but we realised it's a scam. You know, it's a money thing, right? You got to do this. What is it? I can't remember the name of the damn thing, but it's like a chart. You do all these 100 questionnaires or something. Then you take it up to the guy, the staff member, and he puts it through this analysis type machine. You know, like, okay, you got this wrong, you got that wrong, and it goes up, up, up. And the graph, and it goes down, 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 really low, right? Up, down, like that. And then he tells you, yeah, okay, you're doing well, but you've got some problems here and problems there and all this sort of stuff that you might need to fix. You got some, what the heck, I can't remember the name of the damn word. I can't remember the word. And then you suggest a book. Say, buy this book, it's a method how to do it, or a course or whatever, right? It costs a couple $100 or whatever. Or they tell you to join up, right? And then you go do it again. This is what I realised. This is a trick. This is a scam to get you to buy a book. So I went back and did it again. Tried to do it again, you know, because you have to do it every so often, right? To see if you've got these. Damn, I've forgotten the damn word. If you're clear of these problems, right? It's this word. I can't remember what it is. Right. So we went back, did it all the time, and found that it never really changes. And then they suggest another book you got to buy or another course you got to do. It's just continual like that. You're outside and you're trying to get people, and it's all designed for them to do this personality IQ test. Right? It's all designed to get them in there and buying books by L. Ron Hubbard, etc. Right? Making them generating the money as a staff member, and then they share it all out, and you might have made about $500, right? But because it's an organisation, it gets shared out to the top dudes, the staff, whatever, and then it trickles down, and then you might get $2, or maybe a bit more if you're lucky, right? Yeah, it's all designed like that. Okay, so we've got other ones here, and you must. It's important to know the real truth from the real truth. That's us. It's time you knew the real truth, the truth. Okay. Down site mission statement recovered. A theory on Aborigines is a pre-Adamic man before Adam, the pre-Adamic Adam. Okay, according to the Brita in the Aramaic of the Tav Eshret and the Lishana Atika Sapreya, sacred scribal language of God. Okay, it was a prehistoric caveman type, and it agrees with archaeological and scientific findings, right? Discoveries, revealings, etc. And this is the person here, Victor Alexander, that's done that on his down website, va.com, which we revived, and we bring it to you. Okay, he's from Mesopotamia, Syria, and he's translated all those into the nearest English equivalent. And he's not, he's leaving out the prejudice, the bias, whatever, and he's trying to bring you the nearest English equivalent of what those scriptures actually say. Those original ancient, very old scriptures actually say and mean. Here it's about Genesis. So we go through the scriptures and all that sort of stuff, analyse them, and then we delve into the original ancient apostolic church of the East, the different translations, be it the Tav Eshret or the Galilean Aramaic by Victor Alexander, the guy up here, or Andrew Gabriel Roth's Syriac Peshitta, or somebody's Peshito, Lamsa, Peshitta, etc., etc. Okay, we even talked to this guy here, who has 2 doctorates, 2 PhDs in Aramaic and Hebrew. Don't know about the Greek, but that means that he's a qualified expert in that field, but it's probably the modern vernacular of Aramaic and Hebrew. We have questioned him on it, but he goes, he's translating from the originals. Okay, so if he was, got nothing against him or whatever, we talked to him quite a bit, and he's said to us in a comment, because we asked about the Hebrew Israelites saying God's name is Yahu, Wahi, Wahi, Washi, Washi, and all this sort of stuff. Is that in the Hebrew? And he gave us a bit of lip, bit of problem, but then he says, we carried on, and he says, oh, what's that rubbish? It's not the Hebrew. We're like, well, then these guys have made it up, haven't they? You know? So, yeah, he's good to learn from. Okay, I got George, what's that guy's name? Funny guy. But it's an attention, it's just a quote. It's attention to all the Assyrians out there. Get their attention, because we want to know their history, but some of them are very, it's really bad and all this stuff. We don't really want to talk about it. We went on a Facebook one and they're like pretty cool, but a lot of times they try to block us, poo-poo us, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, and it tells you about us, who we are. Okay, historicity of the original Church of the East, the Apostolic Church of the East, where Thomas gave the original Galilean Aramaic manuscripts to the high priest there, who hid them from Constantine for 2,000 years. The church hid them for 2,000 years, therefore preserved them, right? Okay, exposing the false preachers and so forth. The Quran and their white leaders' claims that Muhammad's mentioned in the Bible, where the Holy Spirit, Jesus said to the disciples, don't worry, I'm sending to my Father, but I'm still with you, but I'll leave you the Holy Spirit, the Comforter. They say, oh, it's Muhammad, and all this sort of rubbish. It's in original Aramaic, but we, having the original Galilean Aramaic New Testament translated into English for us, say no, it's a load of rubbish, and we verify it. And there's plenty more here on our playlist called The Aramaic Scriptures Revealed. Check them out. Okay, so we'll end it there, and if you love this video, then subscribe to us, give us a like, add your comments below, and then go share it with all those you know and love. Share it with the church as well.